What's up everyone, Soldier First Class here. In today's mission, a Square employee may have leaked major Final Fantasy VII Remake information. Before we start the video, let me just throw a huge disclaimer in here. Much like any rumor, please take this with a grain of salt and know that I don't endorse any of this as fact. However, with that being said, if all of this is true, then it looks like the remake is everything I wanted and more. While scouring Reddit, a brand new post popped up on the Final Fantasy VII Remake subreddit with the title Info Dump. The username of the poster was Square El Segundo, which at the time only had a Reddit life of only 1 hour. This poster claimed to work at the El Segundo, California branch of Square Enix. This automatically made me skeptical of the post, so I wasn't sure if I even wanted to do a video on it. After discussing it on Twitter, I decided that if this turned out to be true, I wanted to be the first to report on it. After researching the El Segundo branch, it does actually exist, so that part checked out. It's apparently the publishing and localization branch of the company. The poster also claimed that the information came directly from Business Division 1, which is the branch working on the remake. I questioned the poster on a few things, but he kept making the same claim. For job protection, I can only say the information comes from here in El Segundo and from Division 1 in Shibuya, Tokyo. He would later go on to correct his statement, changing Shibuya to Shinjuku. Square Enix Business Division 1 used to be located in Shibuya, but moved sometime in the last 7 or 8 years. Some of the information was a repeat of stuff I've covered in a previous video, so I won't repeat them. I'll link that video in the description below so you can check out some of the other leaks. Now let's get on to the information that hasn't been seen yet. The post states, materia is shown in almost all weapons. They do not appear in accessories, nor do accessories appear on your character model. Different weapons will appear on your model. For example, Runeblade will be on Cloud's back if equipped and exploring. I love the materia part of this because it gives you that extra little detail on your weapons that so few RPGs use. Speaking of weapons, the post had a bit to say about the combat. Different weapons have different triangle heavy hits, and those hits do not cost an ATB bar. Buster Sword has Punisher, and Runeblade has Cleave. You use these heavy hits after a string of regular hits. Regular hits are chip damage, and the main damage will be from heavy combo finishers, and of course the massive limit breaks. I actually like this because it makes each weapon special and not just a flashy design. It also appears that combos and finishers will be a part of combat, and you can't just mash one button on the road to victory. Moving on, using magic will consume ATB along with MP. You get more bars as the game progresses. This is one I had already guessed, so I wasn't really surprised by this one. Summons will work for the most part as cutscenes like in the original. They do not fight with you on the field. There is one new summon, Amarok, and it appears to be a wolf that causes darkness in addition to damage. This is really interesting for me because I was actually wondering if they would add new summon materia in the remake. This is one of the leaks that I really hope is true, as it's no secret that summoning is one of my favorite things in the franchise. For those wanting to know about how the world will be handled, it would appear that the game is going to be open world. The post stated, overworld map is almost seamless. There are some zones. There will be roads and methods of transportation. It is open world. Vehicles like the tiny Bronco work almost exactly the same, only being able to go in lighter water. There will be items available occasionally on the field. Chocobos will of course be obtainable after the farm. I'm actually excited to see this because open world Final Fantasy VII, if done properly, could be an amazing aspect of the game and create a living world. The HP amount shown during the state of play is not indicative of what their HP should/would be normally during those times, simply for dev showcasing. This really isn't out of the ordinary, as this actually happens a lot. This next one was actually the most exciting one for me. There will be demos on the game floor, with a PSN demo following shortly after for people at home directly after E3, PlayStation Plus required. Sounds reasonable and typical of an E3 show of this magnitude. A demo was also confirmed by the editor-in-chief of US Gamer, Kat Bailey. It would appear that this part of the leak was actually true. You can catch all the information about that demo on the Night Sky Princess video, which I'll link in the description below. I really hope the home use demo is real, because I can't wait to get my hands on this game. I'll also be doing a live stream of the demo, then later make a video giving my thoughts after finishing it. Moving on, the post states there are redesigns for a lot of the enemies, but most will remain recognizable. Some do not make an appearance. For example, there were no ghost enemies in the train yard. I had a feeling this one was also true because not every enemy is going to make the cut from the original game. Shinra HQ won't have as many floors to explore, but more to do on the floors that you do go to. It will still feel like you're fighting through a lot to get to the top. I'm okay with this simply because the old Shinra HQ had a lot of unnecessary segments that would only make sense to condense and fill with more content. The next part is a major one that I actually just released a video on. The design of Tifa is also true to the original outfit. Her face appears to be mostly similar to her Advent Children design, but slightly more western. Materia also shows up on her gloves. Gold Saucer will have some games that are not playable yet because they are essentially part of a later story mission. They want it to feel more grand and provide a break from the main story, while still eventually having to incorporate the story into it later. I don't mind this, as there could be some really fun minigames here, and done properly this seems like a cool idea. Red 13 has clones, Cobalt 14 and Indigo 15 you fight before he joins your party in Shinra HQ. In the original design of the game, these two characters actually existed. However, they never made the final product. I guess if Square Enix is trying to fit in stuff that they previously cut, this could be true, but this is one of the things I found hard to believe. Sid does not appear to be smoking, but you do see evidence that he does. He's clearly upset with Shira, but the aggressiveness is toned down as they felt it was unnecessary. While I don't really care one way or another about the smoking, Sid's attitude at Shira was borderline verbal abuse. I can see why Square would plan to tone down his interaction with her, as it was a tad bit over the top even in 1997. They can still present this scene with the same funny interaction, just held back a little bit. I don't think it will be as censored as fans are fearing though. A few wall market scenes were in the post, confirming that the Honeybee Inn and the cross-dressing quest are in the game. According to the post, Cloud will have a dress and wig in one particular scene, but it's a fade to black when he gets in and out of it. The Honeybee Inn requires Gil to get into instead of the membership card. The squatting minigame will return. If this information is true, then that means the game was not altered to remove those scenes, as many fans had feared. To finish the post, as these are full games, each will be priced at $59.99 US. Signals have gone out to retailers to prepare for pre-orders. This part I already knew, as I have pre-ordered my copy at GameStop already, and it carried that price tag. Overall, this stuff isn't too hard to believe, but of course you take all information leaks with a grain of salt. I hope at least some of this is real, because that means almost all the fears I had will be laid to rest. What do you think, soldiers? Could this information be true? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to omni-slash that like button. Let me know in the comments section below what you think of this information. Subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell to join the ranks of Soldier today. And for all the latest Final Fantasy VII Remake news, rumors, and trailers, I'm Soldier First Class, and I'm on to the next mission. Later, guys.